everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about some common questions you should that we get as dealers, and they're just a little bit of annoyance because it seems like the audience for electric bikes are younger, so the questions to us at this point in life seem a little silly because when you've hit 155 miles per hour on a bike and you've gone 160 in a car and you've obviously flown in planes at high speeds and stuff, but when you've been in control of something that goes fast on the roadways and had that adrenaline rush, I get it, it's an adrenaline rush. So I don't understand it, but I guess maybe I was at that point in life where my thing was, how fast does that motorcycle go? How fast does that one go? How fast does that car go? And really, as you age, it's like, who cares? Who cares how fast? But that's a common question we get about electric bikes is how fast does it go? In fact, that's what I see on the various RAR pages on Facebook all the time. There's a guy, Craig, asking, how fast is the 72 volt? They just want to, how fast does it really matter how fast? 50, 60, 70 miles per hour. Oh my God, that's faster than you're going to go on a trail. See, we're trail riders. We ride these on dirt. We don't go out there and ride these on the street because A, they're not street legal. I don't want the hassle. I don't want the ticket. When you have a worth in life, and by that I mean monetarily and a net worth, you're not going to put that at risk by going to do something really stupid like getting speeding tickets and spend time in court and have impound fees and this and that. When you're young, you think you're invincible. That's fine. We all were there, so I can relate to you, and that's why I'm thinking it's just a young person question. How fast can this go? Because they haven't gone those speeds yet. They haven't hit 150 in a car or 155 on a motorcycle going down the road, lane splitting and doing crazy stuff. Is it right? No. Have I done it? Yes. Am I proud of it? No, but it is part of my life that I have experienced, and I get that. I get that. You're young and you want to experience how fast it goes. Going 50, 60, 70 miles per hour on off-road is a heck of a lot different than doing it on the road. It's actually scarier because you got trees, you might have water bars and stuff, you got rocks that might be in the road or potholes and stuff. So going off-road at greater and greater speeds is actually scarier, a lot scarier than on-road, because I've gone 100 miles per hour on my XR650R on a dirt road, but big deep sand stretches in Moab out north of the airport going across. And I think it's called Airport Road or something. But anyways, if you've been in Moab area, you might know where I'm talking about. It's to the west of the airport. And when you're hitting those speeds, you have to know how to ride the sand. And also, it does go through your mind. If you go down, it is going to hurt. Luckily, I've never gone down at those speeds, but I've gone down at, I want to say like 30 to 40 miles per hour off-road. In the air came and somebody had moved a log in the freaking trail, and I hit that, and I just went down on my XR, and I hurt my wrist. I think I actually had a couple fractures, but I let it go. It hurt for about a year, and then it went away. But it hurt, and things like that are always changing off-road. Off-road is a lot scarier to go fast on, and we don't typically go fast on single track to those speeds. So you're just not going that fast. So I would say safe, most electric bikes go from 40 to 70, and do you really want to go faster than that? I can tell you my car can go faster than 70. My street bike can go a lot faster than 70. So I don't understand, where are you using this speed? But that's somebody with some experience just telling you. I know you're probably younger and you're getting that adrenaline rush. I get it. 60, 72 volt, which is faster. It depends how it's set up, motor, gearing. A lot of people forget about the gearing, the sprockets and stuff. It depends on the gearing too. And what do you mean by faster? Do you mean off the line faster? Do you mean top speed faster? Quarter mile faster? What do you mean by faster? And I don't think it really matters. It really doesn't matter, but it's a question we get all the time on electric bikes. We also get from the motorcycle crowd, we get the is there a clutch? Is there a clutch? No, there's no clutch to a Aurora Mantis, and most of the Arctic Leopards don't have clutches. The EXE has an electronic clutch you can add for $200, or it can be programmed to be your rear brake slash, it's really the engine brake, not the caliper brake, but you can program that to be your rear brake. I don't think the clutch is really needed. That always ticks off the dirt bike riders. Well, I need a clutch because of advanced techniques. I can do a pivot turn with the electric bike. I can modulate the throttle to go up a hill without wheel spin. You can hear, you can feel, and you just lightly rotate. It's kind of like a recluse. You can just lightly play on and off, and it will get traction and it will go up. A lot of people think there's one position. That's even for the gas bike, dirt bike guys. They think it's on or off, on or off. No, there's a million different positions in between. And that's where a good electronic throttle on the electrics works wonders and programmed correctly, because you can have it so it's smooth and it's like butter and you'll find traction and it works. I don't know. I haven't had a problem bringing up the front tire when I needed it. You don't need to load up the engine and dump that clutch to bring up the front. You don't need to do that on electric. You just rotate and it comes up. We also get asked, well, where can I ride these legally? And I would guess some of this is coming from the dirt bike guys. They're like, well, where can I ride this? Well, in Colorado, it's a gray area. They're not really legal in the forest, so Forest Service. They're not really legal on Bureau of Land Management land per se, but I would say put an OHV sticker on it and go out there, have fun, and you'll probably be fine, right? I guess there could always be that one ranger that is like by the books. I don't see it. Well, if it's not listed, it's not illegal either. So is it legal? Isn't it legal? You know, they're too new. The laws haven't really caught up to it. Same with the plating and getting it registered and all that. At some point, somebody will have all these be legal, whether they just classify it as a moped and you'll have to be a certain age, have a moped license, and have it plated, this and that. I think they should be. The state's missing out on a revenue stream there, and let people go ahead and get insurance and have it plated. Let them do that. Why not? Then you kind of control it a little bit more, right? So I don't know. We say do what you can afford. Meaning if you want to go ride that trail over there, that I don't personally care. But if you get a ticket, you can't complain. Do what you can afford, you know? And you really should be asking, which a lot of people don't ask, is like, where is the company located? Like, where is Suron located? I don't think there's per se a headquarters in the US. I don't really understand quite who's the importer. You know, Amp's not, Lunicycle's not. We noticed that in Colorado, all Polaris dealers have Surons. We find that a little odd. Let me know about your local areas. All your Polaris dealers, Suron dealers? Is Polaris making a deal to bring these in? That's a possibility. Maybe this dragon lady we hear about, there's this mythical figure of a dragon lady. Maybe she's a Chinese lady that works for Polaris. I don't know. We can't find anything about them getting involved in electric bikes like this. It's a publicly traded company. They have to put out their financial statements. We don't see anything out there, so maybe it's some sort of partnership they have right now. I don't know, but we just noticed all Polaris dealers are also Suron dealers. That's just interesting. At least here in Colorado. That's just very, very interesting. And so I guess they're going to try and make Suron more like a dealer network like we have with the Aurora Mantis and like we have with the Arctic Leopard and what have you. A question that also gets overlooked by people that are interested in these electric bikes are, what's the parts availability? What can you get for them? Okay, I break something on a Suron. Who do I go to? I break something on a Talaria. Who do I go to? Lunicycle? Are they going to cover the warranty? Maybe, maybe not. I've heard both. I've heard people with good experiences. I've heard a lot of people with bad experiences. That's just what I've personally heard, and that's just going out, seeing somebody and saying, "Hey, that's a nice bike. Is that a Talaria? Yeah, it's an MX4. Oh, how do you like it? Oh man, I bought it at this dealer, man. They can't fix it. They won't do anything. Blah blah blah." You know, I've heard lots of that, and then I'm like, "Well, how about Lunicycle?" They're like, "They won't do anything." I don't know. I've heard a lot of that from here, and when I was out in Moab the last time, meeting a guy at the trailhead. Hey, nice bike, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I started a dealer and we're selling electric bikes and stuff, and we can get parts. And he was like, huh, yeah, I don't like Lunicycle. Yeah, I don't like that other place by us. I've gotten a lot of that. I don't know. I'm just saying. But that's the thing. Parts availability, which kind of leads into aftermarket support. What's the aftermarket support? So obviously you have more aftermarket support on a Sur-Ron and Talaria than you do the RAR Mantis. Because RAR Mantis is new. But for example, Warp 9's made some stuff. We have a controller from Emoto X Racing. They have a controller coming out that is going to put out, I think it's like 11,000 watt for 72 volt battery. I think that's kind of looking at the screen, and 9,000 watt with a 60 volt battery. And the stock is 7,500 watt. So, hey, see, there's people coming out with stuff now. The RAR Mantis has been out for long enough. There are parts coming out. Guts Racing just did seat covers. Like I said, Warp 9. I found out the KLR 250 foot pegs work. You just have to put a spacer on the backside so they're more level versus otherwise they'll be a little floppy, like sad ears. But yeah, you can just KLR 250 foot pegs, but Emoto X is also doing foot pegs that will fit and they'll be level from the get-go. So you have some options there. Just tossing that out. So knowing what parts availability are for the bikes depends on your needs. If you buy a newer product, of course, it's not going to have all the parts out there. You buy an Arctic Leopard from us, it's not going to have all the parts out there. But in a year, it's going to start to have all the parts out there, because once they hit certain numbers, aftermarket companies are like, wow, there's only 1,000 units out. It's not worth my time. Oh, there's 10,000 units out there? Okay, there's 20, there's 30, there's 40. And if the importers are willing to work, like RAR sent Warp 9 a bike, they probably sent seat pans to Guts Racing to get seats made. It's just what you have to do as these companies to have a big aftermarket. Big aftermarket support means you'll sell more bikes, because people do like to customize their motorcycles. For whatever reason, that's always been the case, whether it's gas bikes or now these electric. People want to customize it to their personality, to their liking, to their needs and wants. So bigger aftermarket support, more bikes sold. Buy a newer bike, it's not going to have the aftermarket. It doesn't mean the bike's not good. It just means it's not going to fulfill your needs for the aftermarket niche. But if you hold out a little while because you really want it, but it doesn't have aftermarket, it's going to have aftermarket. As long as it looks like a strong company. Another thing people don't really look at, and they should look at as far as the manufacturer slash importer, I'll call it importer slash company, is what is their long-term plans. Like RAR Mantis, they have the Mantis S coming out, the Mantis X, and the Mantis Mini. They have goals. Arctic Leopard, we've talked to them. They have goals too. I don't know if I should go into detail there, because I don't know how much is public knowledge or whatever. But they've changed some things. I guess I could say the EXE, their bigger dirt bike size electric bike, kind of like the Stark Varg. It is now shipping with the bigger battery stock, because that's mainly what people want. If you want the 105 volt battery, then you can get the 105 volt battery. But it's coming with I think it's the 95 watt, I want to say 90 amp hours or whatever. I don't know. It's a big ass battery. It's going to take you very far on the trail. And that's what most riders want. They want the big battery. They want to go the distance. So there you go. Oh, and just to let you know, a lot of people focus on the whole volts And it doesn't really matter. Oh, Stark Varg puts it's like a 400-volt system, but only 16 amp hours or whatever. And it's like, who cares? Who cares? You're drawing more power from those cells quicker, and it's not good for those cells because you're actually discharging them quicker. I don't know. There's a whole thing around it. I should have Aaron talk about that. He understands that stuff much more than I do. And yeah, he's just like, yeah, it doesn't mean it's better. Doesn't mean it puts out more power or anything just because you have that volts. It's not the volts you should be caring about. And if you do the math, you can figure out the size, density of that battery, and the density of like the Arctic Leopard EXE model. You can figure that, oh, hey, this one is the same size as this one. Really. Or bigger. Or bigger. So anyways, you know, what are the company's long-term goals? Well, I don't know what Surons are. I haven't heard much. Now, Talaria, we've heard that they have the Dragon, right? That's going to be coming out by the end of the year. They're kind of slow to the game. I think you're going to have these other, like Arctic Leopard out there. I don't really see a need now for the Ultra B. Ultra B's outdated. But it's a good bike. I like the welds. I like everything on it. I liked how it looked. I like the fit and finish, but it is pretty much outdated now. The Arctic Leopard, it's fresh. It's more like a dirt bike, and then that's where you get into: do you want something that's like a dirt bike, or do you want something that's like a mountain bike? Now, the mountain bike guys get on and say there are Mantis when they come in. They don't like the ergonomics. They're like, oh, this is weird. And you hear that in other YouTubers' videos like the Talaria boys. They're like, they just don't like it. They're not used to it. But then again, they're riding on the road. They're riding in tennis shoes, pants, and shirts. And they have minimal gear. And they go do slick rock. And they go really slow. And they're not really hitting things hard. And yeah, totally different aspect. They're sitting down mostly. Oh, at least the one guy in the video, he just sat down the whole time, like staying on the pegs. But he's wearing tennis shoes. Standing on the pegs for a long term with tennis shoes does not feel good. There's a reason why moto boots are stiff, right? I don't feel the pegs under my feet when I'm riding my motorcycle all day long standing up. So you want to ride with gear, man. You really want to if you're going to do that off-road type of riding. If you're riding in your khakis and your t-shirt along the beach, hey, good for you. But that's totally different experience than I would say what most people that are buying the Arctic Leopards and the RARs want. The Talarias and the Surons, they're out there like on the street doing wheelies, going through parks, getting us banned in places, getting the bikes confiscated. If that's what you want to do, you do you. But it's not a good look for everybody, and that will bring the heat on us. And anyways, there's a different geometry and different mindset when people come in. The mountain bikers don't like the more dirt bike-ish style, and the dirt bike guys don't like the mountain bike style as much. It's kind of funny to see, but we see it all the time. Oh, I don't like this. It's not like a mountain bike. It's not like the Suron or the Talaria. It's like, who cares? It's like, well, yeah, no duh. It's not like that because this is more moto like, and that's why we like it. The suspension works, the geometry works for off-road. Now I just wish they had 2118s, but that's where Arctic Leopard fixes that. All their shit comes with 2118s, so bam, that's fixed. More power too from the get-go than an Ultra B on their EX models, like the EX 800 Arctic Leopard has much more power. I think it's what the 800 is like 25 kilowatts. I'm sure you could like boost that up. So yeah, there is that, it's more moto-like, and it's 180 pounds. The EXE full-size dirt bike one, it is 240 pounds, 40 pounds less than a Stark Varg. So there's that. Yeah, anyways, these are just some questions and some things we get when customers come in here. I just thought I'd share this with you. This video is long enough. Y'all take care, stay well, stay safe, my friends. Have a good one. Bye.